Does your English need soul? Accelerate your learning with the following story. The story. We all know the downward spiral of a day gone wrong. The small problem becomes two become 10, and soon, everything feels like a disaster. The store. But what if there was an emergency brake for that free fall? This is the story of how 3 small acts of gratitude, done in the middle of a failed day, had the power to stop the spiral and change everything. We invite you to stay with us, using this story not just for inspiration, but as an immersive tool to enhance your vocabulary and your perception of the language. The story. For Kenji, a young Japanese-American photographer, New York was supposed to be the land of perfect light. He moved to Brooklyn, dreaming of capturing the soul of the city, but reality has been harsh. His day had been a succession of failures, culminating in the final blow. An important client, looking at his technically flawless images, delivered the verdict that would echo in his mind. Your photos are perfect, Kenji, but they have no heart. They have no heart. Back in his small apartment, the weight of those words crushed him. He looked out the window. Where he once saw angles, textures, and stories, he now saw only a monster of concrete and glass, indifferent to his failure. The city had lost its focus, or perhaps he was the one who had lost it. And then he did what so many of us do when we feel small. He picked up his phone and dived into an ocean of other people's perfection. The infinite feed showed the success of other photographers, the awards, the exotic trips, the portraits full of the soul he lacked. Each image was a reminder of his inadequacy, each like a testament to his invisibility. The story. In that moment, Kenji was no longer a photographer. He was just another spectator, drowning in the bright light of others, unable to find his own. The phone screen finally went dark, but the images of others' success continued to burn in Kenji's mind. The next day, Kenji faced his complex and expensive digital equipment, piled on the table. The camera, the lenses, the flashes, everything seemed as cold and soulless as the critique he had received. In an impulse of saturation, he began to put everything away, hiding the tools of his failure. The Nagei. It was in the back of a closet, behind boxes he hadn't opened since he moved, that he found it. A small wooden box. Inside, nestled in faded velvet, was a beautiful and simple old film camera. It wasn't his. It had been a gift from his uncle, Mr. Tanaka, the owner of an antique shop in Cold Spring. A farewell gift when Kenji moved to the big city to hunt the light, as his uncle had said. Kenji picked up the camera. It was heavy and real in his hands, a promise of a slower, more deliberate process. And then, he saw it. Tucked under the leather strap, there was a small note, carefully folded, in his uncle's elegant handwriting. A message from the past, waiting for the right moment to be read. With careful fingers, Kenji unfolded the yellowed paper. His uncle's handwriting was just as he remembered, precise, elegant, and calm. And the message it contained was not a complicated piece of advice about career or success, but a simple task, almost a whisper. Kenji, the note read, on bad days, when the whole world seems out of focus, your task is to find and frame 3 small beauties. Just 3. Kenji read the words once, twice, 3 times. Then a city of giant skyscrapers and crushing problems. The task seemed almost naive. His brain, trained to seek complex and technological solutions, didn't know what to do with such a radically simple instruction. Didn't know what to do with such a radically simple instruction. But what did he have to lose? His method wasn't working. His state-of-the-art technology made him feel empty. Perhaps his uncle's wisdom, contained in an old camera and a note, was the focus he had lost. With a determination he hadn't felt in a long time, he found an old roll of black and white film, loaded it into the camera with a satisfying click, and walked out the door. He wasn't going to work, he was going to fulfill his uncle's mission. Then, no, Kenji walked the streets of New York. But he was a different man from the one who had crossed them the night before. His shoulders were no longer slumped by the weight of failure. His eyes were no longer hunting for flaws in himself or perfection in others. Then, no, he was on a hunt, a silent hunt for the beauty hidden in the city's hustle. His mission, to find 3 moments of gratitude and honor them with a click. His first discovery was on a bench in Central Park. Then elderly couple, sitting side by side in a comfortable silence, their wrinkled hands intertwined. Their faces were a map of a lifetime of shared journeys. Kenji felt a wave of gratitude for human connection, for the beauty of love that endures. He raised the old camera, framed the scene and clicked, then stepped into the underworld of the subway, a place that usually represented chaos. But amidst the roar of the trains, he heard the solitary melody of a saxophone, played with a passion that seemed to come from another era. Then Stidi felt gratitude for unexpected art, for the beauty that insists on blooming in the most unlikely places. He found his frame and click. Back on the surface, the day was ending. The golden light of late afternoon poured between the skyscrapers, transforming the concrete and glass into a work of art. The same city that had seemed like a monster the night before, now offered him a spectacle of long shadows and beauty. Then Stidi felt gratitude for the city itself, for its resilience and its hidden magic. He waited for the perfect moment of light, and click. With the final click of the shutter echoing in his ears, his uncle's true lesson was finally revealed. It wasn't in the note, nor in the camera. Then Stidi, the simple act of looking through the viewfinder. To frame that single moment of beauty, the elderly couple, the musician, the golden light, he was forced to exclude all the surrounding chaos. The traffic, the crowds, the rush, all of it became the blurred periphery of his vision. The camera's viewfinder didn't change the city. It changed Kenji's focus, and then the young photographer understood the genius of the task. Gratitude wasn't about pretending the bad things didn't exist. It was an act of discipline, a deliberate exercise in focus. Then Studi, it was the conscious decision to choose what to place inside the frame of his attention. And by framing the positive, the negative, though still present, lost its power, its sharpness, its voice. Back in his apartment, Kenji went to the same window from which the night before he had seen a concrete monster. Then Studi, but now his photographer's eye had been restored. He no longer saw an oppressive, indifferent mass. He saw an infinite landscape of small frames, of details, of stories and beauties waiting to be discovered. Then Studi, he picked up his notebook, not with the pressure of creating a masterpiece for a client, but with the simple joy of capturing an idea. Gratitude didn't give him the soul the client said was missing. It just cleared away the noise so that the soul that was always there could finally be seen. Then Studi, Kenji's journey is a reminder that, on the darkest days, beauty doesn't disappear. It's just our focus that gets lost. Gratitude is the lens that allows us to reframe our world, focusing not on everything that is wrong, but on that which silently has always been right. Then this lesson on the power of perspective resonated with you. Leave a comment below telling us, what are the 3 small beauties you would choose to frame in your day today? Like and share this video so that more people can rediscover their gaze of gratitude. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that help you learn English. Until next time, adjust your focus, find your light, and continue to frame the beauty.